Okay, so in this series, we're going to talk about how to show each other love. Because usually we try to show another person the love we want them to show us, but that doesn't always work out the way we had hoped, right? You give love and they're like, wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. Well, not everybody wants to receive love the way you want to receive love. So let's talk about the 9 types and how you can love them well. Okay, so type 1s. How do we love the type 1s in our life? Well, for them, you have to understand that they have a loud inner critic that is constantly assaulting them and berating them about all the things that are wrong inside them and the world. And so to understand that to give them feedback or criticism is only going to create more havoc inside. Now, I know that sometimes we still have to give feedback, but in how you do it is really important. Being mindful of that onslaught that they already have. How can you affirm them of the good that they are doing, how hard they're trying? Do that first, and then reveal other things that you want them to be mindful of, but do in a way that's very gentle and very caring. Also recognize that they give a lot of advice which can land on you as criticism, but that's not what they're most likely trying to do. They're trying to be helpful. And so letting them know that you are thankful for their help. Now, if you need it said in a different way, you can ask them to do that, but also being thankful for their try. We also want us to be responsible, to do what is right, to listen to their concerns and reassure them that you understand they have these concerns. But we also want to show them how to lighten up a little bit. The best way to do that is to say, hey, I know we've got these things to do, so let's work on a few, let's go have some fun, and then let's work on the others again. That will show the one that you care about the things that need to happen, but you also want to include them in the fun. Those are a few ways that you can help in loving your type 1. All right, so how do you love the type 2s in your life? Well, they would love to have fun with you, to connect with you on a deeper level. But they also want to know how they're special to you. A lot of times they fear rejection and they think that that might be coming. So it's super important if you show them that you love them unconditionally, that you love them for just being them. Yes, they do amazing things and we're so thankful for that with our 2s. But more importantly, we love them for just being them. We see the good that they do and we're so appreciative. And we also want to show them how we can love them by meeting them where their needs are at as well. So those are just a few tips and understanding. Oh, one more thing. If you have anything to say to the 2 that maybe like feedback or criticism, do the sandwich method. Lots of affirmation, then say what needs to be said in a gentle way, and then lots more affirmation. That will help the 2 to listen and to be able to digest it. So those are a few ways to help the type 2 in your life in loving them. All right, so how do you love the type 3s in your life? Well, the type 3s are always thinking that they have to excel, to do the next thing, and for you to see it and acknowledge it in order for them to have value and worth. But I'm sure you actually love them for just who they are. I mean, of course, you're amazed at all they can do, but we want to show them, even if you don't do all those things, I love you for just being you. But at the same time, so that's really important, at the same time, join them in setting goals and accomplishing things together. That's really exciting for the type 3, to come alongside them and to support them in their goals and their missions in life. These kinds of things will really show the type 3 that you see them and that you know how accomplishments are so important to them. Include them into other things that you're doing in life. Show them that yes, you see all the work that they're doing, but rest is really good for them as well. I hope these things have helped you in understanding the type 3 and how to love them in a new and a fresh way. All right, so how can you love the type 4s in your life? Well, it is really good to show the type 4 that you see them for who they really are and that you love how different and unique they are. Now, they'll feel misunderstood most of the time, but that's okay. Show them that you know that you can't understand them fully, but you really want to do your best to try. Ask them curious questions, get to know them on a deeper level, ask them about what is going on in their internal world, and listen. That would mean a lot to the type 4. But we also want you to show support in helping them into feeling their significant value, reflecting back to them what you see. That is so important. But a few other things that might be really helpful in loving your type 4 is, one, don't say they're being too emotional and trying to cheer them up when they're melancholy. See, the 4s, that is natural waters that they swim in. Their emotions can be a little bit more on the melancholy side. They're familiar with it. They're okay with it. And in fact, they see as it being real and authentic. So don't just try to cheer them up. Sit there with them. Listen. Be curious. And let them know that you are there for them in the unique way they need. And then lastly, don't try to cheer them up in a way that is being insensitive or pushing them to the side. Just let the 4 know that you're there and that you care about their internal world and that you're in no hurry to speed the process up. I hope that helps you guys. All right, so how do you support and love the type 5s in your life? Well, they really don't like intrusions, obligations, and surprises because it drains their inner resources, which they don't even have a lot of in the first place. Remember, type 5s, it's almost like they have an internal battery of 20 to 25% per day to interact with others. And if you surprise them or intrude on their time, it will deplete it very quickly. So be mindful of that. Ask them, where's your battery life right now? Are you 5%, 10%? We got to go out, let's say, to a dinner with some people. Do you need some time to recharge? Things like that will absolutely show your type 5 that you're mindful of what their needs are and that you're willing to help them to accomplish the recharging that they absolutely need. But also, don't take it personally if they need some time alone. In fact, 5s need a lot of the time alone because that's when they process their thoughts and their feelings. It is not indicating that they don't care about you. They're just plugging their cell phone battery, their internal battery, into the wall. And that's how they do it, is time alone to process. So it's not a negative against you. I hope this helps you guys in learning how to love your type 5 well. All right, so how do you love the type 6s in your life? Well, they want you to be authentic, direct, and just say it like it is because they want to know where you're coming from. They don't want to have to think through it and be suspicious. So be honest, but also be loyal and committed, showing that you're thinking of them and you're willing to do whatever it takes to come through for them and the relationship. We also want you to understand that they need your support in showing that you understand that they have anxieties. They have an internal committee that is constantly causing chaos and confusion. Show them that you understand and that you're there as they wrestle through that. You're not judging them, but that you're supporting them and that you want to have compassion and empathy for the anxiety that is happening within them. And also let them know that it's going to be okay. Now, don't say this in a, oh, it's going to be okay. But say, I hear your struggle. I see that this is a real need or a problem, but I think everything's going to be okay. Let's work on this together. And then most importantly, if you're in a conflict with a 6 and you need time to process and think, let the 6 know that you are all in for your relationship, but you need time to process and think and to come back and talk about it when you are ready. That little pivot in letting them know everything's okay as a relationship, but you need time, will show them that you're not abandoning them, but you are there for them in support. I hope this helps with your type 6s. All right, so how do you show the type 7s in your life that you love them? Well, they don't want to be restricted or confined. They want to have freedom and independence. Now, of course, that can't happen all the time, but where it can, it'd be great. And if they have to do mundane tasks like chores, make it fun. Show them like competition or goals or rewards. That can really make it intriguing for a 7 versus mundane, boring, and horrible. But also show them that you see their creativity, their spontaneity, and that you really enjoy it. And as much as you can, give the 7s freedom to be themselves, to not try to make them into something that they're not. You will see that that will free up the 7's heart to not necessarily go off and do more things, but that they don't have to flee from being confined. These are the kinds of things that are going to really help a 7 be there in your midst as you love them well. All right, so how can you love the type 8 in your life? Well, they want you to be confident, strong, and direct. Say it like it is. They want you to stand up for yourself and for them. And they also don't want you to back down. They want you to know that they have a vulnerable, tender side behind the strong exterior. In fact, 8s can be some of the most tender on the Enneagram. But it's hard for them to show it because they fear being blindsided and betrayed. But let them know that tender side is there and that you appreciate it. They also want you to know that though they can be assertive and blunt and sometimes really straightforward, it's not always a personal attack. See, 8s do not want to be blindsided or betrayed, and so they want to hear things honestly from others, and therefore they value that and think others value it, so they give that as a value. So let them know that you appreciate their honesty. If you need it to be redirected or a tone different, first let them know that you're thankful for their honesty, but ask them if they can say it in a way that's a little bit more gentle in the way that you need it. First and foremost, recognize that your 8s have a tender heart and they will protect their inner circle fiercely. And if you are in their inner circle, you can be very grateful and show that love for them. All right, so how can you love the type 9 in your life? Well, the type 9, just by their nature, is going to be focusing on you and others and making everyone happy. So take the time to really focus on the 9. Listen to them. So much you'll see that the 9s are listening very well to others, but very seldom do people really ask them the same questions and give them the same attention that they give others. Now, 9s, we can kind of meander in our talk style, so be patient with us. Don't rush us. I know it can be hard sometimes to land the plane, but be patient, because when you rush us, it says that our voice and our presence doesn't matter. And that's something that you actually want to communicate. Your presence and your voice matter to me. So as much as you can, be patient, forbearing, and really drawing out the 9. They will so appreciate it and feel loved.